Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. You got a question for RLN? Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Oh, now we get real. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. Now, that's what I'm talking about.
Time to get real and time to get spiritual, and welcome everyone to the show. This is Reality Spirituality, and I am your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington. Thank you and welcome to Reality Spirituality. Now, if this is your first time listening, you're probably asking yourself, what the hell is Reality Spirituality? Well, I'm glad you asked, because guess what? I have the answer. Reality spirituality is a term that I use to describe our everyday life experiences with the link to spirituality. And spirituality is also part of personal growth. Now, Reality Spirituality, this show dissects our everyday life experiences down to the least common denominators to discover why you, me, anyone is not as happy as they could be. Reality spirituality, it's not a religion. It's just a guideline to living connected, living connected to the universe, to living connected to the most powerful energy created. Now, source energy there's tons of different names. Some people say it's God, some people call it higher power, universe. I use the term universe, but when you live connected to this energy, to the most powerful energy in the universe, your emotions are limited to, get this, limited to happiness, light, excited, peaceful, content, grateful, joyful. The list of good emotions just goes on and on. But when you live disconnected, you can feel it. You can feel if, I feel sad, I feel bad, I feel irritated, I'm pissed off. You can feel the difference. And let me tell you something, you, my dear listener, you have a choice. You have a choice of how you want to feel. What? You heard me. You have a choice of how you feel. We are getting away from the reality. Spirituality is getting away from, you just got a ticket. Now how do you're supposed to feel like, oh God, this is horrible, pissed off, whatever, upset, angry, unfair. Guess what? You can choose to feel differently. I'll give you an example, and this is what I call it, reality spirituality. This just happened today. As all of you know, I let me say that I'm into a lot of different things. But I have been teaching, and I have been a fitness instructor, personal trainer, fitness instructor, aqua instructor, probably for the last 30 years, What? Yes, I said 30 years. And this morning, every Sunday, I teach 2 classes. I teach a cycling class, also known as spinning class, and I also teach a bodyworks class, which is the same thing as weight training, and they're back to back. And I've been doing this probably for the last at this particular gym probably for the last 4 months. Now, there's a parking attendant outside, and I'm going to use one word to describe him, just so you can get an idea, just so you can get a feeling of what I'm talking about. And there's only one word, and the word is sour. I mean, you've met people that are sour. There's a difference. There's a different feel. There's a different look. There's a different vibe coming from someone that's sour and someone that is grateful for this gift of being alive at this particular time. Well, this gentleman is as sour as 500 million lemon drops. Let me say this. In the past, I've had an experience with him where as soon as I park my car, it's a big sign that says quiet zone. You can't turn on your radio. I mean, if you're driving in and you have your radio on, you've got to turn it off. And there's only one way to exit. I mean, you can go around the cars and exit one way. There's only one way that is permitted by Mr. Sourpuss, by Mr. Security Sourpuss. You can only exit one way. Mind you, there's 3 ways to exit, but according to this gentleman and who is in charge of the parking lot, you can only exit one way. So let's fast forward to today. Okay, hold on a second. Let's back up. I have said good morning. Hi, how are you when I'm leaving? Have a great week. I'll see you next Sunday. To be met by barely a smile. What's your name, sir? Mumbling. The guy is just grumpy, sour, whatever you want to throw in there. I'm saying this only so you can understand the circumstances and you can understand what I'm talking about. I've tried in so many ways to help him crack a smile, but I've also noticed, let me say this, I've also noticed that this gentleman, Mr. Sourpuss, he's got a couple of people that he talks to, and he laughs and he jokes and he talks and he's smiling, but none of them are me. And this morning, I just say, as soon as I drive into the lot, I turn my radio off, I park my car, and he runs over to my car and he says, lady, you parked on the line. You've got to park right in the center of the space, or else. Or else what? Or else you're going to get a ticket. It's Sunday morning. It's 8:30. It's 8:30 a.m. It's a parking lot in shopping center mall. I'm going to get a ticket? No, I'm not going to get a ticket. But if you need to say that to force me to get in the car and back up and park exactly the way that you want me to park, okay. And this, my dear listeners, is the key. You have the choice, and you have the ability to respond any way you want. But let me say this. Before I go on, I want you to join me in the show, either by questions, by suggestions, by comments, by life experiences. Please call in and share with me and the audience. 646-564-9619. 646-564-9619. When, what should I call him? SL, Mr. Sour Lemon. Now, when he ran over to my car at 8:30 in the morning, mind you, let me say this. Let me add this. I teach 2 classes, and my first class starts at 8:30 a.m. And yes, I have to admit that I cut it a little close, and it was probably about 8:27, 8:28 when I pulled in. So I really didn't have a lot of time to dilly-dally. So this Mr. Sour Lemon runs over to my car as soon as I park. I'm actually out of the car getting my gym bag, which contains the music, the shoes, the towels, the water. I'm actually getting out of my car, and Mr. Sour Lemon rushes over and says, lady, you can't park like that. You need to, your tires are on the line. You need to center your car and park, my hands are up, two quotes on each side, correctly. Or else you're going to get a ticket. Oh, really? A ticket in a parking lot, in a shopping mall parking lot? I'm going to get a ticket. Now, I have a choice. How am I going to react? What am I going to say? What am I going to do? What are my choices? Well, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, maybe even a year ago, I would have been pissed off and said, I'm parking here. There's nothing wrong with me parking on the line. F you and a ticket? Are you serious? He's basically making it up. But this is the thing. I am responsible for my peace and my happiness. It's my responsibility. I have a choice. I can argue or I can surrender. What's going to make me feel better? Arguing my point or stressing the fact that I'm right, you're wrong? Or just saying, F it, who cares? Is it really that important? Is it really that important that I get involved in this, that I create and get involved in this drama, that I continue this drama? Do I really need to do that or want to do that? So this is what I did, audience. I said, "Oh, I'm parked incorrectly." Okay. Got in the car, backed up, tried to straighten the car out, parked again, and Mr. Sour Lemon was happy because I did exactly what he wanted me to do, and guess what? There was no drama. Now, experiencing drama or conflict is a choice. I could have, because let me be honest, I had no reason to back up and straighten out my car. I was in the right. Police officers wouldn't give me a ticket for parking on the line in a parking space. But you make a choice. Do you want drama or do you want peace? And I have to tell you, my audience, that at this stage in my life, the only thing I want is peace. And guess what? I have the power. I'm responsible for keeping the peace. Yes. Any relationship that I'm in, any relationship from personal to professional to recreational, any relationship I am in, it is my responsibility to keep the peace. Now, does this mean that, oh, God, I'm so weak, I'm just a pushover? Oh, no, because I'm the most powerful. If any relationship that I'm in is peaceful, it's because I am the one holding the power, not the other person. The other person doesn't have power. I have the power. I have the power to decide, and I have the power to create a peaceful relationship. So when this piece of garbage, well, when this person told me to, you're parking on the line, back it up, move it, it was either my choice to do exactly what he wanted, which what? Caused peace, created peace, or no, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, I don't need to move it, I'm not going to get a ticket. What do you want? What's the most important thing? What is your priority? If your priority is peace and happiness, then it is going to be demonstrated in all of your relationships. Every single one of your relationships, because you, my dear audience, you, my dear listeners, are the most powerful. So you have the ability to create the relationship. These other people, it's not up to them. It's up to you. Let me say this. I used to point my finger if something was going wrong. Oh, my God, it was so easy to look at somebody else. It was the easiest thing to look at somebody else and say, it's you. No, it's not anyone else. You have the power to create whatever you want. You want peace or you want drama. Does that make you feel good that you have all this power? Now, today's topic is what's wrong? Something's wrong. You're wrong. What I'm going through is wrong. What I want to do, it's wrong. But I'm here to tell you that everything that is happening is so right. I was conditioned to believe. I was conditioned to think that if something didn't go my way, it was wrong. If somebody I can't even. There's too many examples of what I thought was wrong. What about thinking that everything is right and the only thing you have to do is to accept what is, to flow with what is, to relax, to breathe, and to enjoy. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, but please, I encourage you to call in 646-564-9619, and we have a couple of people that are on the line, 646-564-9619. We're going to take a quick 30-second break, and I will come back to you. You're listening to Reality Spirituality. This is your host, Rebecca Norrington.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality, spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Reality, spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality, spirituality.
Reality Spirituality, Rebecca Lynn Norrington coming back with you live on the air. And I want to go to my first caller, who is someone that I have to say I know, Nathan Norrington. Hi, Nathan.
What's up?
I want to say to everyone, this is my son, Nathan Norrington, and I'm so glad that you're listening. And do you have anything to add to what we've been talking about?
Anything to add?
Or anything to say?
Anything to say? I like your story about sour face, sour parking dude. I like that story a lot.
And sour lemon.
Sour lemons. 10,000 drops of sour lemons. Yeah, I like that story.
Let me say this. Let me add. Audience, Nathan, just listen to this. This is a very quick story. A couple of days ago, I was invited to a boot camp reunion. Hopefully these people aren't listening. A boot camp reunion. Well, I used to teach a boot camp class. And my student of, 25 years, she organized it, put it all together. This was her idea, and I showed up. But let me say this. One of my girlfriends that came to this boot camp reunion, and when I say girlfriends, I mean a girlfriend, but originally she was a student in my class. And she showed up in teddy bear slippers. And when I saw her name, I'm going to use another name. I'm going to use the name Judy. Her name, she showed up and she was shuffling really, really slow. And I got up out of my seat because we had been there maybe for about a half hour, and I said, Judy, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? She says, I burned my feet.
Oh, my God. What?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. What do you mean burned your feet? I mean, she's walking into a restaurant with these teddy bear slippers, and she's walking like as slow as, let's see, molasses. And so and I said, what do you mean? So now she's sitting down, and all 8 of us are listening. She says, well, I'm not going to mention, but he's a well-known motivation speaker. I mean, this person is. Oh, you know what? I am going to mention it because it has something to do with a story. His name is Tony Robbins, one of the most successful, motivational, inspirational speakers of our time. And she went to his seminar, which lasted 4 days. 4 days of internal works, 4 days of what's really holding you back, 4 days of there's nothing to fear but fear it. 4 days of this the most wonderful. She said it changed her life. And at the end of the seminar, Tony Robbins has people run across hot coals, run on fire. And in fact, let me say something. Even Oprah, this was a few months ago, after Oprah ended her show, she went to this whole 4-day seminar with Tony Robbins. And Oprah walked on hot coals and walked on fire. It has been filmed. But my girlfriend said to me, the one that went to the seminar, she says, yeah, there were, and I asked her, I said, how many people were at the seminar? 6,000. And this was actually on the news, reported on the news. How many people walked on these hot coals? She says, probably 5,000, 5,500. She went there with her family, her husband, and her 2 daughters. Now, her husband didn't walk on the coals because he has another medical issue. But her 2 daughters walked on the coals, and their feet weren't burned. But my sweetheart, Judy, walked on the coals, and now she's walking in with second-degree burns on her feet. They're all taped up. She had to go to the doctor. It's a whole scene. And actually, this was reported on the news. Tony Robbins, 5,000 people, 21 people their feet were burned. Now, what is my point? Do I even have one?
I hope so.
Are you interested? Does it sound good?
Oh, hell yes.
Okay, so this is it. I'm listening to her, and I said, what did you learn from the seminar? I said, would you do it again? And you know what she said? Yes, I would. What did you learn? She said, I learned that fear is an illusion, that I can do anything and I can accomplish anything I want to do. But it's not about the accomplishment. It's about how I feel about me. Now, we're all sitting around, and one of my, let me say this, Debbie Downer Donnas is really upset. She actually says, how could Tony Robbins put people in danger? What kind of lesson are you learning from walking on coals? Why does he have to endanger? Why does he have to set it up that people have a possibility of burning themselves? Can't you walk on water, walk on ice cubes? Can you walk on the sand? Can you walk on the grass? And my girlfriend kept saying, my girlfriend Judy says, well, he's making a point that our mind is so powerful. Our mind can create, can feel anything. And we have the ability to choose. And even though she was second, and actually the picture of her is on my Facebook page, even though she suffered second-degree burns, she felt that this whole experience changed her life. Now, now the other one, Debbie Downer Donna, argued with this woman. And this is my point, audience. You have, and you are the guy. You are the one that dictates, creates, all the relationships in your life. I have to say that at the moment I was caught up, and when Donna said, "Why would he do that?" and she was angry about the fact that some 21 people out of 5,000 got burned, and I said, "You know what?" Because I didn't think Judy was arguing the best, and so I stood up and I said, "Listen, your mind is so powerful," and Donna and I argued back and forth. And let me tell you this, I felt terrible because Donna wasn't going to change her opinion of Tony Robbins. Donna wasn't going to change her idea of what he should have done or she should have done or what my friend should have done. Why am I engaging in an argument? And the answer is because that's what I was conditioned to do. If anybody disagrees or if anybody has a different opinion than me or if anybody is thinking differently than me, then I've got to say something. Not anymore. Because my priority is peace and happiness. At that time, this was on Friday, I argued my point. I argued the point of the mind is so powerful and you can even have surgery, and if your mind is right, you don't need anesthesia. I mean, I argued it all. But guess what? It was a waste of my time. Why am I thinking? Why is it important for somebody else to think like me, to believe like me, to behave like me? The next time I get together with anyone or I'm in a conversation with anyone, it's only going to be, this is what you believe? You're a Democrat? So am I. You're a Republican? I'm a Republican too. You're a freedom fighter? So am I. You think the war is bad? So do I. You think the war is good? So do I. Who cares? You think hair is the best? Straight hair is good? So do I. Curly hair is better? So do I. Messy? Yeah. Clean? Yeah. Listen, I mean, come on. And let me tell you this. There's been a lot of things in the news and the media, and I can tell you, and I can point to, and I could verbalize everything that's wrong. But guess what, audience? Guess what, listeners? It's not about what's wrong anymore. It's about what's right. Nathan, what do you got to say about?
You are damn right about that.
Really?
Yes. I'm sitting over here like, yes, and yes.
Let me say this. What is struggle really about? Why are we really struggling? I'll tell you why we're struggling. I'll tell you why I'm struggling. I'm struggling because I look at the situation, I look at where I am, I look at where I want to be, and guess what? It's all wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong that I have to work 3 jobs. It's wrong that I have. It's not wrong. What if everything that happened to me and to you is all right? The only thing that's wrong is that we resist what is. I want to say I'm going to let I'm going to let go of controlling anybody else and anything else other than me. Only me. I have control of me. And I have control of everything. Everything. And guess what? I have control of every relationship. That's what I meant to say. Every relationship. I have control over it. I'm going to tell you a really quick story. This is the best. Unless you have a story, Nathan.
No, I'm good.
This is the best story. And I have to admit that I was not a believer. I did not believe this. This is not right. This is not the way everything. I had a tete-a-tete, back and forth with a coworker. And specifically, this coworker of mine was angry at me. Didn't like my decision. And you know, when you don't like a decision, oh my God, the world is over because this person didn't do what they were supposed to do, or this person didn't do what you wanted them to do, or this person didn't do what you thought was right, or this person didn't think like you did. So my coworker was pretty pissed off at me. Now, what is the solution? What is the answer? How do I bring peace with somebody who is mad at me, who doesn't think I made the right decision? How do I bring peace? Is it even possible? The answer to that, reality, spirituality, is it is possible. But let me say this. I didn't believe it. What I'm about to tell you, I thought. What I'm about to tell you, I didn't think was true. I didn't think it would work. This coworker of mine is a yakety yak. I mean, she will talk even when there's nothing to say. She talks, and let me say this: there is nothing. I've never known her to be quiet, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just explaining her personality. She is a yakety yak type of person. Now she's mad at me. She's mad at me because of what I didn't do, what I didn't say, how I didn't behave. This was last week. And I knew that she was upset because you can feel when somebody's mad at you, quote unquote. But on Thursday night, last Thursday, I decided whether they're not mad at me. They're having an internal struggle. It has nothing to do with me. Knowing that, on Friday, I brought to the office homemade fish, potatoes, vegetables, and guess what? I had a glass container, and I went over to her suite, and my intention was to share. She's mad at me, but that's her thing. That's not my thing. Why am I going to get in the middle of? Why am I going to do her thing? She's the one that's mad. I brought this big lunch with me. And I went over probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock with the intention to share my homemade lunch. Well, as the universe would have it, She wasn't at her desk. I wasn't able to share. She was gone. She was gone. Who knows? Maybe she went to lunch on her own. Went back to my desk, going on to doing the work of the day. Maybe about an hour later, I'm in the copy room where there's a scanner, there's a copy machine, there's lots of there's the mailboxes, and I'm at my desk scanning. I mean, I'm in this office, in this area scanning, and I hear this click clop, click clop, click clop, footprints. What is it, Nathan? Not footprints. Nathan?
Yes.
What is that? Not footprints?
What are you asking me?
Nothing. So anyway, I hear the footsteps down the hall. And it's the coworker. And she walks in and she sees me and she's very upset that I'm there. Remember, she's pissed off at me. And I said to her, you know what? I brought lunch for you, but you weren't at your desk, so I ate the lunch. But my delivery and my energy was that of, I love you. I don't care if you're mad at me. I love you. I'm embracing you. I like you. And this person that had everything to say, that could only talk, that talked and talked, had nothing to say. Thank you for lunch. No thank you for lunch. I'm still mad at you. When you greet someone with open arms, acceptance, and love, you have conquered them. You have conquered the relationship. You have created peace. Nathan?
Yes.
So where did you go when you weren't listening?
I didn't go anywhere. I was thinking about a situation. I was thinking about my own life. It got me thinking about what's up with me.
Well, you know what, Nathan? Are you going to be around tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time?
Actually, I'm not sure, but I will let you know.
Well, I'm telling you this because we have 60 seconds left in the show. I cannot believe that the show went by so fast.
That's awesome. All you got to do is talk.
Thank you. I love you, audience. Thank you so much for listening to Reality Spirituality. This is your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's the new experience. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one. You got a question for RLN? Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Oh, now we getting real. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good.